Jana, welcome to the Glossover. I'm so grateful to have you in. I have been such a fan of Prime Skin for so long now. Prime Skin was founded in 2021, is that right?
Yeah.
Amazing. So we're now
like
5 years
ago.
in. That's
Yeah.
crazy. And so I'd love to know what's the business been like and how's the process been?
Oh God, it's been like such a roller coaster. So yeah, Prime was kind of conceptualized in 2021, didn't actually launch until the end of 2024. So there was like a long period of trial and error and learning. And because when me and my business partner started it, we were just kind of like two best friends that just had this idea. I come from a marketing background. She comes more from like a eco background. So had strengths that we could both use. And then basically we were just kind of talking about it, and we'd both always loved skincare and beauty. Yeah, I was like, should we start this together? Should we do something? And then it was really just a lot of learning, which we can get into. But yeah, no, it didn't launch until 2024. So in my head, I'm like, it's kind of only been up and running for like a year and a half, but I forget about all of like the pre-launch journeys and things that we did as well.
100%.
Yeah.
I know for you, a community is so important to you. And
Yeah.
in the early stages, like I remember following the page, I reckon like fresh after you had it. I reckon I was one of the OG followers.
Oh my God,
Yes.
thanks.
And so I would love to know, like you really built the community before you even launched a product.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that process?
Yeah, of course. I listen to a lot of podcasts myself, and I remember Priscilla from Banging Body actually said this, and I was like, wow, that's actually so smart. She before she launched Banging Body, she actually built a community or an audience on Instagram. And I think back then when she did it, because Instagram's so different as you know now, it was like a mood board account, and I think she like grew it to around like 50,000 followers or something, which was amazing because yeah, when you've got a product, you need someone to sell it to or launch to. So I was like, wow, that's great insight. So I was like, what gives people a reason to follow my account? Because I think when we'd started it, yeah, in like 2021, I was like, I don't know if mood boards are a bit more like 2018. I was like, I don't know if people are gonna like care or follow this anymore, especially if it's like skincare. It's not like fashion or lifestyle, etc. So we were like, let's do like skincare facts and tips and break down like ingredients and like just get like education. So yeah, we had a lot of fun making like those posts, and we learned a lot like ourselves whilst doing it. And yeah, people really liked it. They saved them, and yeah, we grew the account that way, which was fun.
You know, I think the way that I originally found the brand was because in those posts that you were doing, like those informative posts, one of the posts you did was top 3 makeup artists in the area. And I was one of the makeup artists that you picked.
Oh my God.
And I was like,
yes.
oh, that's smart. Like how wise to capitalize on like a community of people that already have like a following in the beauty space.
Yeah, 100%. Kristen and I both made them. We also had another girl at the start as well that was helping us with socials. And she was makeup obsessed. So she might have done it before, but so yeah, that's so funny.
I love that you were talking about trial and error, because as a business, I feel like there is so much trial and error, especially in the early stages when you don't know what your business is going to tangibly look like.
Yeah.
How did that work out for you?
Oh, it was a long process. I think if I had to do it all again now, I'd say just like really mapping out certain things, like who your customer is, what you want the brand to kind of stand for or look like, or like what is your kind of long-term vision for it. I think at the start we got really excited in like the fun things, like the branding and like
The girly stuff.
That's a lot more fun. But I think through that, we just tried to really remember kind of why we were doing it, which is basically coming back to like just really being really overwhelmed with so many products out there. And like I was on Roaccutane twice. So for me, I'm really particular with my skincare and like products, even makeup, like just anything I put on my face, I'm like, what is it? Is it going to break me out? Like, what are the ingredients? So I kind of educated myself a lot in the space.
I know that you were saying that skincare is such a big part of your upbringing and what's kind of drawn you to beauty. Would you be able to touch on that and kind of why specifically you started a skincare label?
Yeah, 100%. So like I said, I was on a really long kind of journey with my own skin in high school. I remember getting really, really self-conscious about my appearance and like my skin. So yeah, I went to a dermatologist and I was one of those people that would always ask like, what does that do? Or like, what does that product do? I was just always really fascinated by like that space. Yeah, so then really just was super interested in skincare, learned a lot about it. And I think through that kind of journey with my own skin, I really just kind of found like the passion for it. And then I also come from a marketing background. So for me, I'm like, how can I use like my passions, or like how can I do something with the things that I love doing? And like marketing and business and like skincare for me was just like such a calling, and like that's why I was like, I'd love to like explore if this is something like I could do.
Just tapping into like lots of little passions that you have.
Oh yeah.
I love that. And I think that's the best way to do it. Like for me, being a makeup artist, like
Yeah.
I love what I do. I love makeup. I love all things fashion. And so getting paid to do people's makeup every day, like what a privilege that is.
Oh, so fun.
So I feel like for you, you'd have so many moments where you're in that creative phase.
Yeah.
Are you
Yes.
the only person in charge of marketing and like creative control? Is that your thing?
I have like a team that I work with, and like I definitely could not do it without them. So we all like if I have like an idea, I like to like save it, like Pinterest, or like just screenshot it. I have so many folders on my phone. I'm one of those people. But like, yeah, I kind of will like have an idea, and then I would love to like build it out with like a larger team of like creatives. Like campaigns for me, like the funnest thing to do.
And you do them well.
Thank you. I love just working with different creatives, and I feel like when it all comes together, it's just like so rewarding and so fun. Like everything from like the makeup or like the styling, the talent we have there. It's just even like getting the BTS and doing like the social strategy or content is just so much fun.
It's very visual for you, right?
Yes, and I'm such a visual person. For sure.
I think you have to be able to visualize what the product's going to look like, because it's so hard to start a brand when you are throwing 100%. So much money at it. You're taking so much risk on. I would love to know about the risk and kind of like what you've kind of experienced, any obstacles you've overcome.
Yeah, I think before getting into Prime, like I knew it was going to be expensive, but I think people don't really understand like beauty and skincare and makeup. It's just there are such high MOQs, which is like your minimum order quantities, that you've got to like order from the factories. So for us, like it could be, I mean, you rarely find somewhere that does under 2,000 units. Like it's normally around 5,000 industry standard, or like 10,000. So for us, I was like, whoa, like this is not a cheap thing to do. Which is why a lot of, you know, more like indie brands or smaller brands start with like one product or just a tighter curation of a product range, because it just gets so expensive. And like that's not even your marketing, that's just product. And then you got to think of like packaging and then unit cartons and then getting it here. It's just, I think the risk for a business like Prime is just really mapping out how you plan to sell the product at the end of the day, because it's a very expensive business to be in. That's why you got to kind of back yourself and back your product. And yeah.
Your first product was Jelly Plump.
Yeah.
Tell me.
The baby.
Yeah. How did you start with that product? Like why that product?
Yeah. So like cleansing balms, I think back then when we thought about it, I think it was like the Clinique Take the Day Off balm. Have you used that before?
I love. Oh my God. I used to work at Mac, and that was like the one thing Mac are like under Estee Lauder. And that was one thing we got a discount on, and I was obsessed.
Oh, it's the best. Because it didn't also like sting your eyes. I found I'm really particular, and like that one just, I don't know, I'm like obsessed with that product. I just loved cleansing balms. I think like for me, like Prime was always about like doing more with less. So something that just for like the lazy girl, when you come home, you want to take your makeup off, you can't be bothered washing your face. I was like, this is like the perfect first product. And I think our point of difference was, I was like, how do I make like a cleansing balm a bit different or a bit more of like a fun user experience? So we had it in we've got it in like a jar, which is all intentional, and it's like a really nice jelly consistency. It's like super hydrating. So then whilst we were formulating, it was like, oh, we could use this even as like a mask as well. So not only is it like a cleanser and makeup remover, but it's also can be like a hydrating mask. I have some people that tell me that they sleep with it on overnight and they wake up.
Love that.
Yeah.
What a tidbit.
I know. Like I've heard everything. Someone was like, I even use it as a primer, and I was like, oh, that's interesting because like it's actually designed to like take
the
your makeup
makeup
off,
off,
but like
but
that's
go for
fine.
you,
If
babe.
it works for you, love that. I was like really kind of confident with putting her first because as I said before, like couldn't obviously afford to launch all three at once. So we had to kind of pick, and yeah, she's always going to be like the first little product in the range. And
Your baby.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with the Jelly Plump. Like
thank
I think I bought it originally like from the first rollout.
Oh, thank you.
And I am obsessed. Like the consistency is amazing. And I feel like the jar experience, like you were saying, like you have clean fingers because if you have water on them, obviously not good.
Yeah.
And then you like put it on the skin, and when you have the water in it and it kind of just like emulsifies on the skin.
So nice.
And it just takes everything off. I prefer it. Like I've obviously worked in makeup for so long now.
Yeah.
And I've seen different versions of like micellar and cleansing and I love it. Like it's just
And I was like, even with like waterproof makeup, because like I think some cleansing balms, it was really hard to like remove the residue, especially like when you get like the mascara around the eyes, like the Black Panda eyes, and you're trying to like, take it all off, and then it like stings, and it's like not fun for anyone. You want to like wash it off immediately. But yeah, no, I'm glad that you love it, because I think people were like, when we were trialing it, they're like, are you going to put it in a tube? Because what happens if water touches like the product? And I was like, yes, but like the whole kind of not selling point, but like the kind of main
the feature
of the product is like that jelly consistency. And I was like, if it's in a tube, you won't be able to like see that. So we did intentionally put it in the jar, which I really love. I was actually thinking of I didn't know if I'm still thinking about if I wanted to like change the packaging for it. But
no, please don't.
Yeah, I know everyone's like, no, don't.
And like the glass, it's like, it's a heavy jar. Yeah. Like it's, you know, when you feel like that luxury.
Exactly. You can like see how much you got left. Whereas like in a tube, I'm like, you can't. So yeah.
I love that you're always thinking about your community. Community is so important to you.
Yeah.
I would love to know, do you have any plans in the future for kind of bringing in that audience and kind of connecting with your audience?
I think definitely when we were creating the first couple products, which are the 4 we've got out now, we kind of made them all at the same time. Obviously, when it was just Kristen and I, we were just trialing it with like friends and family, and like this was where we were just getting the Instagram kind of up and running. So people didn't at the time know it was like a skincare brand, whereas we did, because that was like the end goal of the account. But at the time, no one kind of knew that we were going to launch products. So now that, you know, we're out there and like we're building a community, I think getting people more, or those who want to be more involved with like testing or trialing the products that we get back from like the lab and getting feedback is like so important for us, even like to help make decisions, whether it be like scent or texture or like color, etc. Like I think I'd love to get more people involved and give out some products to sample.
Thrive in the community. I love it. I know you do a lot of influencer work as well, a lot of influencers seen with your brand. Is that something that you deeply invest in or you deeply value?
Yeah, I mean, like we don't really do a lot of like paid media work with creators. It's more just like gifting or just
organic
through organic or through the community. Really random. I used to have like a rental business before I did Prime. Also love fashion. So I started that in like 2019. So I kind of was running that for a few years. I still have it now, kind of just like runs itself in the background. But through doing that, I met a lot of creators at the time, and we collaborated like Melbourne Fashion Week and things like that. So I had like a small network of people that I could like reach out to for Prime and just like get their thoughts and feedback, and like that definitely helped. I'd say it's kind of like also just networking and like who you know.
Networking is so underrated.
It's so important.
It's so underrated. I feel like anywhere you get in the industry, it's such like a cliche, but it's not what you know, it's who you know. And you know, you just have that one person who gets their hands on the product and then it just blows up overnight.
Yeah, completely.
I mean, it's just crazy. The power of social media.
The power of social media. We literally touched on this before this, but like it's just crazy because like, for us, like social media is free. So getting on TikTok and Instagram and all of that, so important. I'm always told to like post more myself, which is like a thing we were also talking about, is just like, the time that goes into it is just so important because it's how people kind of find you when you're not on shelf or only online at the moment. So it's just so important. Show up consistently,
And it's so hard. Like as a business owner, having your face, you know, in the early stages, you might want to distance yourself. Is there a time that, I mean, now everyone's telling you need to be front facing. Is this now the pivotal point where you are going to be more on camera, do you think? Yeah,
I'd like to be. At the start, we didn't want anyone to know it was us. I'm pretty sure Chris and I pretended we were like just in the marketing team or something for Prime.
Just incognito.
So funny. We were like so incognito because I don't know. I think we were just like concerned with people thinking, like what do these two young girls know about skincare?
What do they know?
Yeah. So we were just like we didn't want to like discredit kind of the company or the products. And then we were like, you know what? I think it's actually really interesting bringing people along for the journey, like the behind the scenes, because like you never know, like it's always I don't know, I find it really cool watching other like kind of young founders sharing their story and like where they got inspired or how they did it. So I was like, you know what, like if anyone cares or wants to follow along, like I'm just gonna like record some stuff and share it. So yeah, to answer your question, I think yes, I will try to be more on camera. Yeah.
I think it's funny you say that you don't really want to be front facing when your skin is that good. And we know that it's because of Prime. I'd love to know, do you think audiences are becoming more selective with who and what they trust online because of AI and just such a saturated market? I feel like this is so much influencer collaborations and content.
Totally.
It's like, how do we know what to trust? How do we know who's getting paid and like what's actually good?
Exactly. And I think also with just TikTok as well, like now being like such a social engine of just people like now using TikTok instead of Google to like figure out things and ingredients or like a lot of like product reviews that people watch and love. Like I'm one of those people, I get so easily influenced by like what others are using. And like it's also sort of like makeup, like what you do. I feel like a lot of people like learn from watching other people's videos. I definitely was one of those people that like when I tried to learn to do like a makeup look in like
2016 era.
I had YouTube up and I was like watching, I think it was like Leah Holton or something when she was in like her makeup era. I was like trying to like follow along with one of her videos or something. But now with like TikTok, it's just like,
there's so much information out there.
So much information that people are just like so much more aware of like what they're buying and a bit more selective, I'd say, compared to back then.
Everyone's educated, like really educated. There's so much information
which is
out there.
Great.
I'm obsessed with your campaigns. You have such a beautiful creative direction. My personal favorite campaign you've done was the ice with like Annalise, I think Claire and Trinity were your models.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes, Steph. Yes, we had, that one was really fun and that was kind of like the first campaign we put a bit of like budget towards because when we did our first one with Jelly Plump, it was just a lot more lo-fi. We just kind of did it in a hotel and like it was the one product. Whereas with these two, we really wanted to like come up with something that was a little bit more like out of the box, stop the scrolls. We had a really great team. It was not phenomenal. Me. It was not just me. Yeah, we had a really great team that helped bring that to life and that was really fun. I remember when we like had the ice idea, when that came onto set, we were like, oh shit, like how do we lift this? Because it was like massive. Yeah.
Real ice, right?
Oh yeah, real ice. Yeah. No, not fake, not AI, real ice. So we had to like get these like guys, they had these like big, not tongs, like I don't know how to explain it, but they had to like pick it up. Clamps, yes. And they had to like bring it to where we wanted it on set and it was just like a whole thing but it looked really great in the end. So all worth it. Yeah.
And where did you get the idea? Like the ballet core ice?
Yeah, that was not my idea. Okay. I had the idea to do something with ice and like I mood boarded and like kind of put together like maybe one or two concepts. And then I have these amazing girls from Sonnet agency that's there. They're like a creative agency. And I reached out to them and I was like, I'd love your help just kind of fleshing this idea out or if you've got anything else you can think of based on this mood board or stimulus. And then they came back to me with the ballet core idea. And at the start I was like, oh,
random
ballet, like skincare. I was like, I didn't even think of this. And then they kind of were like showing me and I was like, no, wait, actually this is a really cool way to like do skincare or sell the kind of brand world that we're trying to build with Prime. And so Annalise is a dear friend of mine. So I reached out to her and I was like, she's great. She's got the most amazing skin herself.
I love Annalise. I've done her makeup many times.
She's so gorgeous.
So lovely.
I know.
So kind.
So kind.
And just so hot. Like how dare she?
I know. She's literally just insane. And then that was like a really fun shoot to do. And yeah, we had a lot of fun doing that.
I love it. What do you think is the one thing that brands get wrong with their community?
I don't know. There's a lot of ways brands can kind of mislead customers, especially with like the ingredients.
That's a big one.
That is a big one. And there's actually different ways you can use, like when you're listing the ingredients on the packaging or even online or just communicating it. There's different ways you can like call ingredients. You can call them by like their scientific name, and like for example like silicons and things like that, they're actually
The bad stuff.
Certain silicones. So you can call them like different names so customers don't, when they're reading like the back of the packaging, like they don't actually know that that's a silicone and that's actually bad for your skin. And a lot of really big brands do that because certain silicones are actually quite cheap. They're quite a cheap ingredient to use.
There are good silicones.
There are good ones. But yeah, a lot of the big mass brands, like they'll
pump it. It's like a filler ingredient.
Yeah, exactly. Because it does give you a really nice like slip for certain products, in a lot of makeup products. But yeah, for people with more sensitive skin, definitely probably a product to avoid. But it's really hard because everyone's skin is so different. So I can't like speak on behalf of everyone. Personally, I try to avoid products with silicons, but that's just me because I know what my skin's like. But yeah, there's definitely more cheeky ways that brands can kind of like hide what they're using. Yeah. Which I didn't actually know until we did like the original Prime Instagram account where it was like the facts and did you knows and things. I actually didn't even know that myself.
You were educating yourself.
I know. I was like, wow, this is interesting. And then now when I go into like a store and I like pick something up, I'm like, oh, I know what that is. So I can like read the back of a product, which is kind of cool.
I did a hairdressing course. It's so random. Not many people know this.
Yeah.
And so it was like a 1-year fast-tracked hairdressing course where you like learn cut, color, whatever. And one thing I learned from that course was like in the very first like little chapter unit that you learn, and it's ingredients. And it was telling us about how they hide silicone in hairdressing shampoos.
Oh, they do it there too.
The really cheap shampoos, like, I won't name them, but the really cheap ones that you find in Kohl's, they all have silicone in them. And they'll say like silicone free, or they'll confuse you by not using the word silicone. But if it ends in O-N-E, it's like 90% likely to be a silicone. Yeah. And it's like,
that's so cool. I didn't know that.
Trippy. And it's like, I mean, again, sometimes you need them, but sometimes you really don't.
Oh, there's like a really bad ingredient, not a bad ingredient, but like I get my hair chemically straightened just because
I used to do that.
I personally prefer it straight. Different to keratin. It's like they call it nanoplasty, or different places call it different things. Sorry, getting off skincare for a second, but like even for me, there's certain like shampoos I can't use because it will like,
I'll undo the curl.
You'll undo like the treatment and like you spend all this money. So it's like I've got to be a bit more selective with my shampoos. But yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
I know that Prime Skin is very much a refined skincare process. It's a less is more philosophy. Where did that come from?
Just came from like the frustrations of just needing or being told you need too many products to achieve this like one look. I've bought so much skincare. Like if you saw my drawer,
I could imagine.
Yeah, back in the day, I tried everything. Like I literally would just try anything that I was kind of being sold. And I was like, I think I had like a clean out day and I was like, oh my God, Jana, like you are spending way too much money. You do not need all these products. And I think it's obviously just brands being like, you need to buy more products from us. And
influencer marketing too. I feel like 2016 era, it was all like the YouTube thing. It was like a 100-step process.
Yeah, or just like even products was just getting super expensive. And I was like, I honestly like, you don't need all those products. I think the multi-purpose thing was great because like for me, like I use a moisturizer as a primer. So I was like, I don't need like 3 different things to do the one thing I need my skincare to kind of do. So that's where I was like, when Chris and I were like talking about it, I was like, wow, just like simplifying the whole routine and people being able to like use the product how they see fit really, or like how it fits into their routine. If they want to use it as a moisturizer, if they want to use it as an overnight mask, like it's flexible and you can kind of like tailor it to your own routine, was like also how we kind of came up with the products as well. So yeah, I definitely don't think you need like 14 products to achieve what you're trying to achieve, definitely.
And it's coming from the expert with the glass skin right now. I love that.
So, I mean, I do try.
I would love to know. I feel like we're entering our clean girl area. I mean, I'm even noticing like you're like really simple with your makeup right now, right? I feel like we've kind of transitioned from this heavier 2016 version. I mean, every decade it's changing.
The block eyebrows and everything.
God, so
remember
scary.
That? Yeah.
But now that we're like going into like a clean girl era, do you notice that people and like consumers are kind of tapping into a less is more approach also with their skincare, not just their makeup?
Yeah, definitely. I think as well, like I mean, one of the brands that I think everyone looks up to and has just blown up since its launch is Rhode, because it's just such a successful brand. And I think really like Hailey drove that because like her skin's phenomenal. Like literally the woman doesn't have
a single pore
on her face. I was like, her skin's amazing. And I think really her pushing and being the face of her own brand as well, just people were like, her skincare, or because I remember when they first launched, they only had like a kind of, it was just their skincare. Like they didn't have any of like the more makeup infused products. So it was just like the glazing fluid was like a massive product at the time. And I think like it literally was just like a lightweight moisturizer, but just because they use like the word like glaze.
Like soft skin,
the consumer was like, oh, like I need that. I don't have a product that does that, but it's like you probably did. But like, yeah, it's just the way it was formulated. And I think that really helped pivot sort of people into thinking like, yeah, less is more, and like let the skin kind of show, and people weren't as like afraid to kind of do that.
It's funny how celebrities really influence what we purchase and what we do with our own routines. Like I remember that launch. I think she was in New York City. I'll find it somewhere, but she was doing like a whole thing with like glazed donuts and glazed skin. Like she's done so many different moments, and I feel like we've seen it through the way that celebrities market to us. It seriously changes the way we perceive our own skincare and makeup routine.
I mean, we touched on it before, like everything is just now social media and like what you see online. It's what we're that's what we're consuming ourselves. And, you know, we're seeing all of this through our phones. Like it's not so much like the old school days where it's like TV or like print. So for us, it definitely is what kind of captures our attention online. And yeah, I mean, Rhode's campaigns are like
next level.
Like everything, like they literally do not miss. And I think that they've got like one of the best marketing creative teams, like just literally on this planet. Even this morning she was launching, I think she was teasing the launch of like their new, have you seen like the contour, what are they called? The bronzers.
No.
The pocket bronzers. Yeah. So they've come out with them and like a glazing milk with like illuminating pigments and finishes. So even just seeing like how they roll out the products that they tease is just like so fun as a customer. Like I love seeing what they do.
How does influencers kind of, and like that trend of celebrities and the different scenes that we're seeing and stages in skincare, how does that influence your decision? Because it's really hard to kind of launch with intentionality.
Yeah, I think it's just, again, just like listening to your customer and seeing what are their pain points, what are they using, what is missing from their routine, like what is a problem that can be solved. There's so much out there. And I think from when Prime was conceptualized to now, there's been so many new brands pop up, and which is great. And I think it really is just kind of finding your like white space. And again, coming back to like, what is your purpose? What is your why? Like when I come up with products, it really does also come from a packaging first lens as well. And like if I can make the application of using a product different or interesting for me, I would want to like try that or buy that product. Like with our Ready to Glow, like we've got like a stainless steel rollable applicator, and that is just the most amazing sensorial like experience because it's like cooling and it's like lymphatic drainage.
Well, your Ready to Glow recently won an award.
Yeah,
it did. It was I've got it written here, at the Prevention Beauty Awards last year, the best hydrating primer.
Yeah.
That is amazing. And it has only recently launched, right?
Yeah, that product I think it launched, last May.
Yeah, wow.
God,
and
so
to
like
already be winning awards, just the application experience alone is something that's such a point of difference. What's the feedback been like on that?
Oh, it's been so good. And honestly, that probably has been like the hardest product thus far to make because the packaging is so unique. We had to invest in customized tooling to be able to fill it on the production line because it's not cheap. We had to get this like tooling from overseas, and it just delayed us a little bit, which is also why we couldn't launch with all three at once. But yeah, I mean, I was so determined that this was the packaging we had to do for this formula. I was like, there's no other way we can launch this product. So I will invest in getting this packaging right. And so glad we did, because I think like the formula itself is so beautiful. And it's very, very similar to the Rhode peptide glazing fluid, but just I'd say it's like a little bit thicker.
I feel like when you have thicker formulas, usually they penetrate, but they also sit on the skin, so they last longer.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, and like if you don't want to use the roller, you can twist it open and just apply it with like your fingers. But I love applying it with the roller because like it just, when you wake up really puffy or like water retention, it just really like sculpts.
And it's
like,
cold. It's
who
cold
doesn't
to
want
touch.
that?
Like,
Yeah.
because it's a metal component, it kind of just soothes and kind of glazes over the skin.
It's like it's so just relaxing, and like who doesn't want to look sculpted? You know what I mean?
Oh.
Even before you do your makeup, I'm like, chisel me, So yeah.
Makes the makeup application easier.
Exactly. I'm like, I can now see where to put my contour.
Over the past 3 products that you've launched, I'd love to know if there's been any learning experiences through development and producing and then going on to sell the products.
You got to do compatibility testing with any product you make. So you've got to test the product, the formula with the final packaging that you want to sell it in. So I think for us, we didn't really like understand how important that was at the time. We just were like, oh, it's a like, for example, glass mist. It's a spray and it's got illuminating pigments in it as well. We found like our packaging for it. And I think at the time, because we wanted to launch Ready to Glow and glass mist together, we didn't I think we didn't get time to really properly test the compatibility because I was just like, nah, let's just like get it, let's fill it, it's fine. And I think if I was to like go back in time, like you definitely, I mean, not everyone does this, but I think most people, when you get like a new spray or product, or like you're meant to obviously shake it to mix the formula around. And like, especially when you've got the mica in there, like just to kind of like integrate into the formula, like you've got to properly mix it before you use it. And I think that because we'd already gone to production on the packaging, we couldn't really write on the packaging like shake before use. So so some people, like if they don't do that, it can spray a little bit funny because the mica hasn't actually like mixed in properly with the formula. So if you're listening to this, mix the product, shake the product first, give it a good shake and you won't have any issues. But I think, some people, like some feedback has been like, oh, if I don't shake it, like it sprays sometimes a bit funny, but you just got to kind of like, again, educate the customer and be like, give it a good shake because it does need a mix. I think with any product, if it's been like sitting there, and hasn't been used for a while, like definitely give it a good shake.
So the learning curve would be, was it to slow down in production?
Yeah, I think just like properly doing your compatibility testing is really important. And it's hard to slow down because the timelines in beauty are so long and it literally can take anywhere from like 9 to 12 months to launch any new product. And to shorten that is really hard, and sometimes you do need to make sacrifices. So we were working towards a timeline. We didn't want to like push back the launch of these next 2 products anymore. So we were just like, nah, it's fine, let's do it.
And it's hard too, like in the beauty industry, I feel like we are fixated on summer skin, on winter skin. When you're drier in winter, when summer you're wanting that really nice blush, protectiveness with the sun, the UVs. I feel like it's so important with seasonality to be launching new products to stay relevant. Because if you've just got one product and you launched it 5 years ago, like, yes, that might be a cult product, but what's going to be the reminder for people to come back and repeat purchase?
Exactly. It's like a fashion business. Like, I mean, they need to think about seasonality and when they're dropping. And I think that, I know your podcast talks a lot about like fashion and beauty. And I think it's interesting because I feel like both go, like they're both very similar in a lot of ways. And you can have like seasonless fashion brands, and I think skincare can sort of be the same. Like we don't create products around like what season we're heading into or when we launch it. It really just is like a whole timeline thing of when can we bring this product to market and when is it going to be ready.
Once you've released a product, do you frequently do different types of campaigns or different product shoots? How often do you do your batch content?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question because we're trying to figure that out now. Like we only have the 4 products. So for us, it's definitely like you don't want to hit like a content fatigue in a way. And we definitely had that happen last year. Really like long story, but to summarize,
we love long stories.
I know, I was like, how much time you got? I had an opportunity to go work and live overseas, actually in New York. So I was there for 6 months. I came back in Feb. Yeah. random. And because of that, we didn't launch any products after the glass skin campaign because I was away. I thought I could do it from over there, and like I have a team that could have done it here, but I was just like, no, I think I want to like physically be there. And so we didn't launch anything for about 8 months, and because of that, it was really hard to kind of month to month like come up with kind of fresh ways to create the content, especially around like skincare. It's a lot harder. So, you know, you didn't want to constantly be shooting like in a bathroom or just like boring the customer, like seeing the same thing over and over again. So definitely like, and now we're in the kind of the same, not the same boat, but like we're trying to conceptualize like how do we stay relevant, or how can we like creatively capture content in like a new way where our audience or our community is like, oh, that's really cool, or like, oh, I didn't think of it like that, or
especially when it's so expensive. Like to do a content day, I feel like people who don't run businesses or don't work in the industry wouldn't understand. Like to have a hair and makeup artist, like from my perspective, that's already expensive. You need a photographer, a stylist. There's so many things. It looks like you're just shooting pretty skincare, but it's not
so much. Yeah, so much more goes into it. Yeah, as you know. So we're just trying to do more like, I think lo-fi is great if you've got like a Canon or a camera, like that can take amazing photos. You don't always need like the super high def photography. And like, even in my experience, I find that like high def doesn't actually perform as well on social media because I think people think
they see it as an ad.
They see it as an ad, or like it just doesn't get good engagement, which is interesting. So yeah, I definitely think that like when you're doing like your content shoots, like keep it lo-fi, keep it just like authentic, and like just think at the end of the day, like what would you want to scroll past and see yourself, and just kind of like, capture it like that.
100%. I would love to know, you were talking about your beautiful business partner. How does it work being friends and running a business together? I mean, a famous saying is don't go into business with friends or family.
Yeah.
How does that work?
So Kristen at the moment, she actually isn't actively involved with Prime anymore. When we started Prime, which like I said, like 2021, come 2023, I'd finished uni, she was still in uni. And I think when it came to launching the brand, it was just, I think we didn't anticipate like how much work was going to be
so much work
needed. And she was finishing her degree off. So she decided to focus on finishing uni and all of that and pursue kind of other interests as well. So yeah, but at the time when we were doing it together, there were times where it was hard. I mean, but there was also so many times where we could like lean on each other, and we'd both bring kind of different like point of views on things and ideas, and that was really, really fun. And yeah, I think just like kind of bouncing
just
off
riffing
each
off
other.
each other.
Yeah, and I mean like we're like really close friends, so it's also just sharing that journey with someone was like so much fun, and like the ups and the downs. And like I said, it took almost like 3 years to bring Prime to market finally. So we together made a lot of like, I wouldn't say silly mistakes because I think everything you can learn from.
100%.
But looking back, if like I wouldn't do half of the stuff we did again.
Is there anything in particular that stands out?
Yeah,
You're like, I don't want to think about it.
I'm
like,
oh my God. Again, how much time do you have? So we, at the time, our packaging, we wanted to do, it was so different. Like the look and feel of Prime was going to be so much different. So we actually explored custom packaging with like glass, and we got inspired by Glow Recipes packaging. We wanted to have like that more like fluid form, I don't know, just like a really beautiful like packaging vessel. And that needed to be, you needed like an industrial kind of engineer to do that. Yeah, it's so expensive. So we found this company in Sydney that like do amazing work, and they do a lot of brands that are actually in Mecca at the moment. And we wanted to explore, create. So Jelly Plump was going to be in this like, I've still got like the renders now, but it was going to be in like a fluid form, like glass packaging. It was beautiful, but that process costed us close to $25,000 to do.
Oh my God.
And we were like at the time, no, it's worth the investment because it's going to like make us stand out on shelf. And
for clarity, this is like first year in, right? Like first year.
Yeah, so
we
like
haven't even launched a product yet.
No,
this is the first product.
We were like, no, we got to invest in the packaging and the user experience. And then I think like by the end of that process, because that process in itself took around like 6 months, and there were a few times where we went up to Sydney to chat with the team, and they were experts. And I think we learnt so much about custom packaging through that process.
Which is good.
And had we,
positive.
I mean, like because there's different ways you can do. You can get off the shelf packaging and like slightly tweak it or customize like the finishes or like what materials you're using. But when you want to do something that's like fully custom, it's expensive and it's also like timely. So I think through doing that, we learned a lot. We got to the end of that and was like, wait, like to make this at bulk is going to cost so much money. And like a lot of factories, especially in Australia, like you need to find a manufacturer that will do it as well, because glass is expensive and glass custom molding is expensive. So we were just like, I don't know if this is going to be feasible. So,
and at that point you'd spent the 25 grand.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
we had spent it. So we were like, okay,
Wow.
what do we do now? Like we were kind of, and this is also why Prime took so long, because we had been kind of going down a path where it was going to look and feel so much different to what it is now. But you know what? We learned a lot from it. We kind of took a step back. We spoke to a few people that were also in the industry, just reaching out on like socials or LinkedIn and just asking for like coffee or just some advice. I think like really just like if you're in whatever industry you're in, I think asking others that have been there and done it is just advice that's just so priceless, because I mean, you can learn
So
a lot
much.
and save a lot of money.
100%. I mean,
yeah.
I was talking about it the other day with a really good friend. We
Yeah.
went out for coffee and we were talking about how she's a creative as well. And she's trying to build her career in the creative industry. And a really interesting topic that came up was we were talking about how to get into this amazing space where we can grow something beautiful. Asking for help. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's, you don't, if you're in a situation where, especially in business, you need the advice, a cup of coffee, that's a great example or a great piece of advice for someone to start out.
I mean, there's also like so much available out there as well. Like I think podcasts, plug, like this one, plug, is like such a great way to get free education. Like I've learned so much just from listening to other founders talk about their journey on podcasts or like on their social media. I think Rachel from TBH Skincare does an amazing job at that. That's someone I look up to. And just connecting. I mean, I feel like learning from those who have done it is just the best way, because
It's free.
It's free, and if they've got the time to chat, why not?
Before we go into rapid fire, what legacy or feeling would you love Prime Skin to leave people with?
Oh, that's a good question. I actually, okay. I don't know. I think I just love to leave people more knowledge and education about skincare or about just products in general that you're putting on your face. And I think just like transparency is like important. And I think we're actually moving in a bit more of a like science-backed direction where we're going to be doing a lot more clinical tests and focus groups and all of that, because I just think that like the transparency is so important. And I think sharing or highlighting like what ingredients you're actually putting in your products is so important, so then the customer at the end of the day knows or is aware like of what they're putting on their face as well.
Encouraging your community to feel safe in a space almost, because I think skincare can be really overwhelming, especially when you're young, you're going through acne. It's so overwhelming when there's so many options. And sometimes you walk into these cosmetic stores and you go, oh my goodness, which way do I look? Like it's so scary.
Definitely.
So you're creating that space. So that's a really beautiful thing that you're doing with your customers.
Oh, thank you.
All right, let's go into rapid fire. This is the fun stuff.
Fun.
So just quick off the cuff, like the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay. One celebrity you would love to see Prime Skin get their hands on. Celebrity, think big.
I don't know. Oh, I do know. My favorite celebrity is Dua Lipa.
Oh my God, yes. And she just got married.
I know. Did you see it? I'm
So
obsessed
good.
with her. I've been like an OG fan. So probably if I saw like Dua Lipa,
Stunning.
don't think that would happen. But like
she's carrying Prime when she goes to London. She's got Prime in her pockets and she's ready to like pounce when Dua Lipa's out.
I mean, we do have a few lip products in the works in really cool chrome packaging. So I feel like that would go with like her aesthetic.
Her aesthetic, her vibe.
Her vibe, yeah.
Cute. One skincare product you couldn't live without.
I don't think I could live without Drink Up now, and I'm not just saying that. Like I use it all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would do my makeup without it. jokes, I would. But like, I just feel like it's just like the easiest primer for me.
second nature
and
now.
like, yeah, like it's like you're a makeup artist. Like you can't put makeup on dry skin. It's gonna like crease and look dull and just like, nah, it's not cute.
What word would you like to leave with people about Prime Skin? How would you define it in one word?
Multi-purpose. And yeah, I think that can really mean just like using it the way you want to use the product and how it fits into your daily life routine. And yeah.
And simplicity.
Simplicity.
So
Less is more always.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the time we have. Thank
so
you
fun.
so much, Jana, for coming on. I'm
Thank you
so
for having
appreciative of
me.
your time. For people listening at home,
Yeah.
where can they find Prime Skin?
You can find it at withprimeskin.com pretty much, or online on our Instagram. There's links everywhere. So
Links
yeah,
everywhere.
check it out
And I'll be
online.
putting the links everywhere too. So
Amazing. Thank you.
yay.